I am a fashion designer, a serial entrepreneur, and a business consultant. I have been in business now for 12 years, and I tell you, it has been a real journey. And it's just, I'm so excited to see you all here. I mean, I can see so many of you attending slowly. As you all know, I'm on a mission to empower women to create a platform to inspire them with raw and honest stories. So I have got my first speaker, Lorraine Dallmeyer, here. She's going to join us. I would like to introduce her. There she is. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It is brilliant. Well, I've got this microphone because I was inspired by Lorraine. It was just like I had to, sorry, I'm trying to sort out these last bit of inquiries I get from as we speak. So we have got beautiful Lorraine here. She's from Formula Botanica. Some of you may already know this brand. She's an award-winning CEO of Formula Botanica, the online organic cosmetic formulation and business school. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes, we teach people how to make their own cosmetics and then turn it into an indie beauty brand.
It's incredible. Well, Lorraine is on a mission to show that through hard work, determination, and drive, you can also achieve a sustainable online business success. So, Lorraine, please tell us about your story. And I love that how you took a tiny online startup and turned it into a life-changing business. And it's not just for you, but all your students. Come on, tell us your story, please.
Well, I guess it all starts a few years ago when I was on maternity leave, and I actually decided that I wanted to start my own natural skincare brand. So I thought, well, how can I learn how to formulate? I'd already launched an iPhone app at that point on DIY beauty, so I knew this was something I really wanted to do. So I went out and I found a small online course teaching me how to create my own natural skincare. And I don't know if you can see some of the products behind me, but that's the sort of products that our graduates make. So I thought, right, this is very much what I want. So I found this small online training school, took a course there, loved it. I should add that I have a background in biology and environmental science as well. So I got really sort of geeky in the science. And at that point, it was already sort of changing my life. I'd started an online website. I started a blog. I had 30,000 readers a month. I had all these followers online, and people were sort of going, teach us more, teach us more. And I thought, wow, you know, in such a short period of time, it's already changed my life. What could it do for others? So I had the opportunity when I was on my second maternity leave to take over and buy the school. So I did.
Wow,
it was a bit of a crazy thing to do at the time. You know, I had my 3-year-old and my 8-month-old baby in tow with my legal team as we were purchasing this school. And it was really small in those days. You know, it was just a one-woman side hustle. And I was going to run it for an hour a day whilst I worked in my day job. And it was going to be my sort of hobby business side hustle. So I took on Formula Botanica, and I suppose anyone who knows me would know that I'm never going to sort of do something in an hour a day. I'm always going to dedicate all my time to it. So
that's an entrepreneur, isn't it?
Exactly. So off we went, and here we are 6-7 years later now, and it's not a side hustle. I did quit my day job. We now have about 40 staff at Formula Botanica. We have 11,500 students. You can see lots of their brands behind me. We're in 170 countries, and we are now the global name in teaching online organic formulation. So everyone who wants to learn how to make their own cosmetics comes to Formula Botanica basically, and we teach them.
So can I ask you a quick question? So what methodology did you use to grow this tiny hustle, that you call it side hustle, into a like multi-million-pound business? What is it? Tell us.
Yes, well, I've sort of tried to distill it down into a very short checklist, because obviously it's taken a lot of time and energy and effort and money and tears and sweat and blood and everything with that. But in reality, growing a business online really has a sort of fixed methodology in my book. And I should add that most of our success has come through organic growth. So we haven't really invested in paid marketing or ads or anything like that yet. In fact, I've put more hard work in up front, which is then going to pay off more in the long run, which is where I think a lot of online businesses, and particularly female-run businesses, can really go. So I think the first step is to really build and engage with a community, a bit like you're doing on this summit at the moment. And that's really the first thing I did. I started to really ramp up the Facebook groups that I was running as part of the school. I started to get to know the people in there. I really talked to them and really listened to them.
It's very important, isn't it, having the community? I always say to my friends that your connections are your currency. It's like so important.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to get to know the people in there also, because they're going to tell you exactly what they want from you. And if you're listening and you're creating what they really want, then you're onto an absolute winner. So that was the first step I took. The next one was to really then try and create really engaging content to engage with those people, because they were telling me what they wanted to hear from me. So I then went out and wrote it and built it and made it. And it sounds so simple, but I see so many people out there build products where they haven't actually asked people what they want from them. And then those products sort of miss the mark because they don't actually really know what the market wants and they haven't asked them or tested it. So then I spent quite a lot of time trying to get to the top of Google. And SEO, search engine optimization, is often viewed as a dark art, but it isn't really. It's just about writing content in such a way that it's really engaging, optimizing it properly in the blog posts, and then really pushing it out there.
So this is for mainly product-based businesses, is it?
No, service-based businesses as well. I mean, anyone can do this. You have to be found in Google for the search terms that people might come and look for you.
So don't just put the product or service on your website. You've got to describe it in a way so Google can actually find it.
Yeah, and then there's blogging and videos and podcasting and all the additional content that you can create around it as well. So I started to really sort of flood Google with that. And I should add, when I took on Formula Botanica, we were getting like 1,000 visitors a month on the website. Now we get, on a good month, over 400,000. So that's just by creating additional content every single week and continuing to show up.
So, do people just sign up to your email list then? How do you,
Yes.
You're just trying to grow your mail list, aren't you? That's the key.
Yeah, and that absolutely is the next step. So you hit the nail on the head. When I first took on Formula Botanica, we had maybe 100 subscribers. Now we have over 100,000. So again, it's just through showing up and continuously creating that content and putting it out there. So we then send that out to our newsletter subscribers all the time because we want them to think, wow, these people, they send us such cool things. I want to hear from them. What else have they got to share with me?
True. Rather than just sending newsletter just to send a newsletter, so you've got to put information that your followers really need, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a positive feedback loop. You're constantly creating content, sharing it, trying to get people back on your website, reminding them about your brand, getting them to talk about it in your community. So it just keeps going round and round and round, basically. I think the final thing that really cemented our success was launching. So online launches, where you basically have a period of time when your product or your service is available. And that scarcity really, really drives sales. So we moved onto a term time system where our courses are only available at set times of the year, and our turnover doubled overnight, basically, as a result of that. So yeah, I suppose in a nutshell, that's well, it sounds very simplistic. Obviously, a lot of time and effort went into it. I've spent years on this, but that is what sits and underpins the model that has led to our success.
That's such a fascinating story. So I'm just going to ask you something. I know it's going to be a little cliche, but if you could give one piece of advice to your past self who's just about to begin this business, what would that be?
That's a good question. I mean, when you first start out, and you're on your own and everyone around you sort of going, yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone starts that way, right? And then everyone around you treats it as a bit of a hobby, I've noticed. When I took on Formula Botanica, it was very much, oh, Lorraine, that'll be a really nice little hobby for you to do for an hour a day. And that's how it continued. And actually, I wish if I could go back in time and talk to myself, I'd basically say your business is small, but it's impactful. And it is a business. It is not a hobby. And the more seriously you start to treat that from the beginning, the more success you'll see.
That's a great strap line. It can be small but impactful. That's so important. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, there you are. There you
Sorry,
are.
I think my Zoom is frozen.
Oh, that's good.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back. Yay! It's what I was saying is
it's that time of day when all the children come home from school.
Playing with their internet. So can I ask you one more question? So what is that something that is obvious to you about running an online business?
I think the first thing is that you have to really know your numbers. So you have to know exactly where your money is going to be coming from, how much you're going to be spending, how much is coming in, how much is going out. If you know your numbers, then I think you are in control of your business. And I know that this is something a lot of entrepreneurs don't really like to hear. I've talked about this on a lot of other live streams I've done, but it is an absolute necessity if you want your online business to be a success. You know, I do a lot of forecasting work, a lot of planning work, a lot of budgeting work, and I'm revising that all the time. So I know exactly what's happening at all times in my business. And I think the second thing is that your product or your service has to change someone's life somehow. And if it can change someone's life, then you are able to create a sustainable online successful business. But as I said, you know, a lot of people out there launch brands and then they don't really think about whether their product is actually going to change someone's life. They don't necessarily talk to people. And I see this a lot with online business owners. I see a lot of people launch products and services that just sound really fluffy and don't actually go anywhere. And then they wonder why they don't have any sales. But if you can create something tangible, like our online courses, where we teach people how to create a product and then how to sell it and turn it into a business, you know, that is life-changing. You know, I was sent this in the post this morning from one of our graduates in the States. Let me show you this. And she sent me all these little oils that she's made.
Oh, wow.
She just launched her brand and she sent me a little card. And I mean, this was lovely. It says, Lorraine, this would not have been possible without you.
Oh,
you know, that is, I know, that's life-changing. And that's what makes a successful online business. If you can change someone's life, then you are absolutely onto a winner.
It's just
and you
not
can see
about
that
sending products out there. It's not just putting your product out there, but it has got to change someone's feeling, their life, everything. It's got to add a value to them. It's about how much value you add to their life with whatever you're offering, isn't it? It's so important.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know, I feel so proud to look at all these products behind me that all these different people around the world have made, and all of them say the same.
All your students' products behind you?
Yeah. And that's not even all of them. I mean, that's just a fraction. They're just the ones I get sent.
That's incredible. I hear that you won an award very recently from Google, isn't it?
Yeah, in 2018, I won the Digital Achiever of the Year award. In fact, it's on the wall behind me there from Google, and for the whole cosmetics sector. And earlier this year, I was voted the most influential person in the natural beauty sector as well, which was very
you definitely
humbling.
are. It's so fascinating. So we have got quite a few people here, lovely ladies on the line. If there was somebody wanting to do this course who are interested in natural beauty and organic beauty, could they come to you? Could they join into your school? Do you have anything? Tell us if you have anything.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we take on complete beginners all the time. In fact, the majority of our students are complete beginners.
But if I wanted to start this business, would you teach me how to do it?
Yes, of course.
Oh my God.
I mean, you come and enroll with us. And then, you know, in your first course, you start to learn how to make lip balms and cleansers and toners and moisturizers and body butters and scrubs and masks and all of that. And then we'll teach you how to comply with the law wherever you are in the world, how to make the right claims for it, how to understand how your products interact with the skin, how to, you know, create a formulation from scratch and design your own unique products using beautiful, natural, botanical ingredients. And then we'll teach you how to turn it into a business if you want to. So yeah, as I said, you know, 11,500 students already have gone through this in the last few years. And we plan for global domination, basically. We want to teach the whole world how to formulate cosmetics, which is going to be a lot of fun.
So is it always organic formulation that you agree with? You don't?
Yeah, I mean, we only work with natural and naturally derived ingredients. You know, there are thousands of them out there, and that's what I think excites a lot of people, because once they really start to get into the petals and the barks and the roots and the seeds, they sort of really connect with the ingredients and connect with the formulations. And they always say, a lot of our students say that when they launch a product, the final secret ingredient is the love that they put into it. And I think, yeah, that's priceless. You can't get that anywhere else. And you certainly wouldn't get that from a big mainstream cosmetics multinational.
No, absolutely no. Wow, that's brilliant. I'm so impressed that
Thank you.
I mean, what you've given really, really crucial information about your products being online, how you can really describe your products on your listing that could be visible to people looking for it online. So I've always been scared of search engine optimization for my own business because I didn't even know what SEO meant. When I was talking to this marketing guy, he said to me, "Who's doing your SEOs?" And I was just trying to look clever and thinking, what is it? And as I changed the conversation, and on my phone, I was trying to search for what did he meant with SEO. But like you say, if you can describe your product clear enough for people to be able to find you, whatever that is, service or product, I think it's very important for businesses to grow.
Yeah, I agree. And then, as I said, you know, if you're continuously creating content around that as well, in terms of blogs and podcasts, then you can obviously attract people to your website with that. And then at the same time go, hey, we've got this really cool content here for you, but we also sell this product or service. And that is effectively, you know, how a lot of this works in terms of search engine optimization. So yeah, it does seem like a bit of a dark art, but really and truly, it's the most important thing is to just write really good content that you know that your target audience wants to read, and just keep churning it out and keep showing up every week.
That's amazing. Well, I'm just going to ask the audience if they have, still got a few minutes with you, if they have any questions to ask you, and you're very kindly giving them free training for all our attendees for today. So what I'm going to do, I'm quickly going to share the link. I'm going to see if Serbi, my VA, is here to share it for everybody. Does anybody have any question for lovely Lorraine? I'm just checking the chat box if they could ask.
Yes, so you're right. We do have a free online training course, which anyone's welcome to sign up for. So if you'd like to learn how to formulate yourself, it's a nice short course that is drip fed over a couple of days. You get to watch me in action with lots of botanical ingredients, and then you'll learn how to make your own organic body butter and set up your own workspace at home. So even if you don't want to start a business, it's a really nice grounding in learning how to formulate basically from scratch. So thank you very much for sharing that link, Elif.
It's amazing. I'm just trying to copy it and paste it on my story. Love natural products. Can you read the chat?
I can, yes.
If you started up alone, what advice would you give to someone in your position who perhaps finds it difficult to stay focused and motivate themselves?
I think the most important thing is to find out what drives you. You have to have a real vision and a real passion that drives you every single day. And for me, there are many prongs to what drive me forward. I mean, one of them is obviously my family, my kids. I very much wanted to create a better life for them. But the other thing was that I used to work in big corporate. I worked for one of the world's largest energy companies, traveled all around the world, but I kept coming up against that glass ceiling and I couldn't really progress beyond that. And I found it very, very frustrating. So for me, it was also a little bit about proving myself. So for me, that's what drives me. And you have to find what drives you and what's going to keep you going. And if you can find that, then whatever you do, you'll keep going. So that's the most important thing, I'd say. The other thing is have a plan. You know, every single year I start the year with a very detailed plan and really map out the whole year and go through everything that way. So I'd say those are the two most important things.
Okay, what's we got here? The beauty business seems dominated by youth. What advice would you give to older women who are interested in starting their own natural skincare business? Great question, Tracy.
Sorry, I think my internet cut out again. Everything's going wrong here today.
No,
with
I think it's okay.
Electricity in the village.
Would you like me to read the question?
I got the question.
Oh.
I think it's really exciting actually to see older women start their own natural skincare business. I see the same stories come out of the beauty industry, the indie beauty sector all the time. And there are always women going, I want to target women in their 30s who have a busy life in the city. And it's good. but it's getting a little bit stale. And I would love to see older women come out there and say, I'm going to make skincare for women who are going through the menopause, or women who are maybe in their 80s and are struggling to read the teeny tiny letters on the bottles, who can't tell the difference between a shampoo and a conditioner in the shower because they're not wearing their glasses. And I've been told this sort of thing all the time. I think it's fantastic to be able to create products for your demographic, whatever that may be. And I would certainly not be put off by the fact that there are a lot of younger women out there doing this, because as I said, I think they have their blinkers on and they're only thinking about one particular demographic. And there are many different niches out there that are not being targeted. So I would recommend going to find the one that fits you and your demographic best. It's
very important, isn't it? Especially older generation seems to be finding, even in fashion, that everything is targeted for young people only, which is great, but they forget, and then it makes these women to kind of hide away from, they don't even want to wear color. I mean, I want to generalize it, but I've been in fashion for 12 years now, and I have been dressing, and the older they get, they seem to want to be invisible, and I just want to invite them to be visible. And it's being able to provide products for older generations. I think it's a big market there, and if someone's thinking about it, do it. And there is a free course there.
Thank you. I would agree with that. I'd say it's the same for every sector, actually. I think there is I think a lot of sectors out there only focus on one particular demographic, so don't be put off by that at all.
No, that's brilliant. I've shared the link just there.
Thank you.
If you want to share it again, I don't mind, in the chat box, Lorraine. Okay, what's that there?
Okay.
Currently enrolled in a diploma for organic skincare formulation course, and it's really one of the most well-made courses. Oh, it's you! It's brilliant! My question is, what helped you streamline your finances and organization in the beginning?
Gosh, that's a good question. Well, I mean, Formula Botanica has come from nothing really to where it is today. So in order for me to grow it, I really had to have a very clear plan and forecast every single year. So I always went into my next year knowing exactly how many courses I wanted to sell, how many students I wanted to bring on, etc. Now, what helped streamline the organization? In the beginning, it was just me. So I have to say there was a lot of work involved. I'd be sat here at night, I'd be sat here at the weekend, every holiday. I remember one very memorable holiday in France when I worked pretty much the whole holiday in a tent and made my partner choose all of our campsites so they had Wi-Fi. But ultimately, I had to start handing over jobs to other people. And so I started with the ones that were of least importance for me to do them, basically. So things that I knew I could outsource straight away. So I started to outsource the IT, I started to outsource the administration, I started to outsource the customer support, the grading, the teaching, all of that. So I think that was the main thing. But for me, it's very much about planning. You have to have a really clear plan going into every year. And I certainly do. I can't run Formula Botanica without one.
Amazing. Thank you so much. What an incredible story you have, Lorraine. Thank you. There was a lot to take note, I tell you. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you for having me. I hope the whole summit goes well. I look forward to hearing from all the other participants, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Do you continue staying with us if you would like to join to the...
I will. I'll switch my video off and I'll let the following guest on. So good luck, everyone. And thank you for your excellent questions, and good luck with your own businesses.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
Bye.
Thank you. Wow, that was incredible, wasn't it? I do love listening success stories from women. I love listening stories of success.